Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 87 of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, featuring Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on pretty much every platform streaming podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and others. And if you're listening on iTunes, get us a 5-star review. You know, I don't know how stuff works. You know, the crazy thing with the social media is you don't know how the algorithm works. So you just gotta, guess that something is gonna work for you. So I'm assuming if you give us a 5 stars, it might help us show up on the algorithm a little bit more. So leave us 5-star review. Links to all the platforms are available at YKWrestling.com. Also on YKWrestling.com, we got those NWO inspired Black Lives Matter shirts. Police killing niggas again. It's in the news again. In the same fucking city as it was last year too.
Yep.
Dante Wright and I forgot the other. I know Toledo. I forgot his fucking first name, but
yeah,
I'm gonna just because I'm not gonna proceed without figuring out this young man's first name. So give me a second, y'all. Adam Toledo.
That's right.
Adam
there
Toledo.
You go.
Yeah, 13-year-old, bro.
Yeah.
Police killed a 13-year-old. Apparently, there was a video, and I don't subscribe to trauma porn, so I did not see the video. But I am currently in the process. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I can donate some of this. Some of the. It's not a lot, but it's every little bit helps. So we got something in the fund. I say this every week. Black Lives Matter T-shirt fund, because the actual Black Lives Matter organization. I seen an article. Breonna Taylor's mama, the most recent victim of police brutality. The family are victims too. So the most recent victim of police brutality has come out and basically denounced Black Lives Matter as well. So if they're saying it, I've been saying it literally since I designed this I designed this T-shirt almost a year ago, and I've been saying it ever since then. So if people coming out now saying exactly what I've been saying, then So just letting you guys know that. But those shirts are available at YKWrestling.com. Hit the What a Maneuver link. Proceeds, deposit into that fund. We're gonna be donating some to the Wright and Toledo families as well once I get that figured out. So take some time tomorrow to do that, because that's what we're gonna do.
I got me another one.
What's that?
I gotta cut me another one.
Dang, I actually gotta caught myself another one because my other one fading. So I'll be paying myself. So
hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do. Proceeds. I already read that. My bad. I am the thespian. Yes, I have a script. If you did not know, I am the thespian TC Fontaine. I am joined by the Nature Boy Reek Flair. So about an hour before the show, I'm still trying to come up with the show. Right? I'm like, man, I don't know what to talk about, because honestly, if you being real, like WrestleMania was last week. And for some reason, nothing notable happened the week after WrestleMania in WWE land. So it's weird.
Trend.
It's 2 years in a row. Last year they had an excuse. This year I don't know what the excuse is. But anyway, so I hit the fellas up like, man, I don't know what to talk about on this show. And I was like, y'all got any ideas of what else to talk about besides people getting fired on Thursday? And Reek hit me with an answer. Malik hit me with an answer. So my assumption is that Malik is going to actually log into the Zoom today after he answered what we should talk about. So, shit, Malik about to be here. And then I waited. Reek was waiting for about 20 minutes for Malik to enter the Zoom that we are currently in. And Malik said, "No, my bad, y'all. I'm working." So silly of me to my guy Reek over here drinking Sunny D. I ain't seen no Sunny D in about 10 years.
Yeah,
I legit ain't even seen it in the store, bro. Like I didn't even know they sold it.
That dollar store got the hookup.
Dollar Tree?
Big ass jug for $1.
Oh man. It's
Come
Sunny D. It's not even orange juice. It's orange drink.
That's right.
That shit don't taste like orange juice at all.
It never tastes
did. Orangey. It just don't taste like orange juice. It's that orange drink.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, if you're following us on social media, join our conversation on social media with the hashtag YKWPod or YK Wrestling, either or. Preferably, podcast stuff. I feel like we leaning more into doing other things now, so I want to separate the pod from the other stuff we got going on. So typically podcast stuff, we start putting it under YKW Pod, just to be fair to all the other stuff we got going on. No separating it. But as always, man, how you doing?
Good.
Long-winded intro.
Yeah. It's okay. That's how we normally do, so it's all good.
Oh man, yeah, I had to get caught up this week because like after last week, this is all the content that we had to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this week was catch up. So I mean, luckily I didn't really miss nothing on Raw, but then I had to watch NXT because that was the best show of the week.
Yeah,
and what I'm saying the SmackDown was decent. But that's about. I actually put some effort into watching AEW this week too. So it's like, okay, this schedule might work out for me after all.
Yeah, I felt kind of burnt out, man, because yesterday was my first day not watching no new wrestling in about 12 days. It was a lot going on, so I was a little burnt out. I watched everything. I watched Impact on Thursday, and I got some issues with Impact that I'll actually like to discuss right now. Let's just get that out the way. Impact Wrestling, man, y'all. Kenny Omega has been AEW champion since the first week of December. December, if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna go confirm this after, but December 3rd.
Winter is coming.
I think it was a date, and I'm going to confirm that date exactly in just a moment. December 2nd, 2020.
Yeah.
That was a day off. So December 2nd, 2020, Kenny Omega wins the AEW championship with assistance from Impact Wrestling's executive director, Don Callis. And he appears on Impact Wrestling that next week, which would have been December 8th. On December 8th, when Kenny Omega was on this show, he appeared at the end of the show to do an interview from his tour bus that was parked outside of the studio where Impact Wrestling is taped at. It was parked outside of the studio for the whole episode. He didn't get out. So on that episode, just before Kenny Omega's interview, their current Impact Wrestling's current champion, Rich Swann, attempted to go to his car to leave work, and he was not allowed outside because Kenny Omega was outside, and they didn't want anybody coming from that direction at that exit. So they had to find another way to get out the building to get to his car. Impact's own champion could not leave his job because of AEW's champion. That was in December. It is April. December to April, and Rich Swann has looked like a chump when it comes to Kenny Omega the entire time. Like, I don't catch Impact every single week. I've maybe missed about in that whole span about 4 episodes. 4 episodes, not a lot. During that time, Rich Swann hasn't really done much to look like a credible opponent to Kenny Omega. And they have a match on pay-per-view next weekend on Sunday. A winner-take-all match. So, who you think gonna win next week?
I mean,
Kenny Omega gonna fucking win next week because they haven't given me a reason to think otherwise. Has Rich Swann appeared on AEW at all? No. Kenny Omega be on Impact like every 2 weeks or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't get that. It's like you would think if it's about all this cross branded
content,
why is it on one side?
Right, and why don't you have TNA performers on an AEW pay-per-view? Like, if you're really gonna blend them like this,
and
I don't get.
Even with that,
unless this is all some elaborate plot to just create a hostile takeover Impact from AEW and just consume these motherfuckers. Like, if that's where we going, then that makes sense. But otherwise, I don't get it.
And another thing also, I see people saying like, well, maybe it's the network they don't want Impact's guys appearing on AEW. Then why the fuck do I gotta see Gallows and Anderson on TNT every week doing the same shit?
That's true.
So that's my only thing. Is just like they haven't given me a reason to think that Rich Swann even is gonna get a chance, let alone like they've been hyping up how nobody has kicked out of the one-winged angel. And am I supposed to think that Rich Swann has a shot at kicking out the one-winged angel? Is that supposed to be the story here? He's gonna kick out of Kenny's finisher move. He shouldn't, because if anybody's going to be the first person to kick out the one-wing angel, that person needs to be beating Kenny Omega for the AEW championship in the same match, and that's not going to be Rich Swann. I've said it before. It should be Hangman Page, and it should be something that happens in August, preferably next month at Double or Nothing, because like I don't care about this Kenny run that he's been on at this point. At first, I did, which is rare because, like, if you would have told me even 2-3 years ago that, like, hey, you would care a little bit about Kenny Omega, I'd be like, shut up. I cared a little bit the first month of his reign, and probably after I think it was Hard to Kill was the pay-per-view where it was supposed to be Kenny and the Good Brothers versus Rich Swann and the Machine Guns, but then Alex Shelley got replaced by Moose. I care more about Moose and Rich Swann's feud than this shit. And I think it's also Kenny Omega's involvement in this has kind of put a little bit of a cool down on Moose's whole run from the last year. Like, Moose is probably the hottest wrestler in TNA. Not TNA, I'm sorry, in Impact. I gotta differentiate. I don't want to be that person. But Moose in the last year has probably been the hottest act in the whole company. And ever since Kenny has been brought on, he's been kind of cooled down a little bit. I think so.
That's a lot of the problem with this too. It's like Rich was never presented like I don't even want to say a threat. He was never presented as
viable as a champion. It's like it's always he's the underdog that might surprise you. He'll put on a great match, but it's always like a shock. Like, I didn't think he was going to beat Moose. I didn't think they would book that. I think, okay, Moose will take his belt off him and he'll face Kenny, even though it's not as marketable.
Kenny Omega was not involved. Moose would have beat him and got both of them titles. But they had to have Rich Swann beat him to make him look somewhat of a threat because they haven't been doing it at all. Like, he's been looking second rate to Kenny Omega this entire time. One, you know what would have made it work? If they would have just kept it champion versus champion instead of a winner take all. Because then if you had it just a regular old champion versus champion, no titles on the line, it's just, supremacy of the brand, AEW versus Impact, then I would believe that Rich Swann had a chance to win it. There's no way in hell that Rich Swann is winning the AEW championship. He's never appeared on Dynamite. So Dynamite's audience who don't watch Impact, a lot of people don't know shit about what's going on in Impact at all. They probably don't even know Rich Swann's the champ over there.
And that's another reason why I feel like this might just be
like a soft hostile takeover, because it's like that title's gonna go to Kenny. He's gonna hoard them all, and like that's less value you have over on Impact to be watching. So it's like, now, what's the sense? What are you looking at Impact for at this point? Like they've got a solid tag division, a solid women's division, but what else? Yeah. And again, Rich hasn't been treated like a proper champion since he won the belt. So if now if he don't have the belt,
I don't think so.
Right. So it's like now that he's taking it off of him, what's left? And then in the main event scene, what do you have? So I don't know. That just reeks of we trying to just buy out all y'all talent and just consolidate in AEW.
Yeah. But like I always say, let things play out. So I'll see where we at next Sunday with it. But doesn't look too promising to me, man.
Nope.
So anyway, but also in addition to that, I did start watching Backlash 2000. I think that's everybody's favorite Backlash pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I think it's maybe the consensus. So I started watching that. That's when Stone Cold came back for one night while he was out for the year.
Came back crazy pop, night.
Man. I think I heard they put all the Judgment Days on Peacock, so I'm gonna have to go check out Judgment Day from the month after when Taker came back and debuted as the American Badass. Like that pop, I thought was crazy because I don't think nobody was expecting Undertaker to come out riding a bike wearing a denim trench coat. This nigga had a denim trench coat on, bro. Whooping everybody ass. Started whooping DX ass for no reason.
I saw that just a little bit ago. I'm like.
Hey, wrestlers have very interesting fashion choices, man.
Shout out Seth Rollins.
I mean, aside from that, it's like he intentionally dresses like that. Or some dress. A lot of wrestlers just throw some shit. Like, I think my favorite wrestler fit is the jeans and the dress shoes. It's just like the really just baggy ass jeans and the dress shoes. That's my favorite wrestler fit, man. It's my favorite because it's so trash. You said what?
I think Drew did that not too long ago.
Drew's doing that every week when it was at the Performance Center.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I got that image in my head, so like I know I've seen that recently.
I've seen it from Drew. I've seen it from Edge. Go watch some old episodes of Raw from 2004. Edge would come out if he was not wrestling, he was doing a promo. He was wearing a.
Randy did it too.
Randy did it a couple times back in the day.
Yeah.
After Evolution, after he got kicked out of Evolution, he doesn't wear pants no more.
That's true.
I don't think he's worn pants since 2009. I think around 2009, he was, but like. With the Authority, this dude was always in ring gear.
Yep.
Always in ring gear. You know, he had to. You said what?
Shorts. Or shorts.
Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, I started watching that. We got the Stone Cold documentary on A&E. I'm going to check that out later. I got some homework to do, so I might throw that on and finish this assignment that I got going on. And, yeah, man, anything you've been watching?
This was a random choice, but I saw that they added Armageddon's back on to Peacock, so I went back and I watched that 6-man Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that was a lot going on. like you had to.
I always wonder what was the point of them bringing that truck out there. Like you couldn't have came up with a more creative way to set up that Rikishi spot than just Vince having him wheel the truck out there.
But my thing was, it's like they were coming out to. I guess they were trying to stop the match, but it's like, what's the truck going to do? Like,
right?
You think you're gonna carry a drag to sell out with the truck or something like that? Because you still got to break it down. Right. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, none of that made sense. But like,
shout out Rikishi for that
spot heavy. Oh my god, that man crazy as hell. But you know, it's spot heavy. But I guess that's the idea. But
they got 2002 Armageddon on there.
Yeah, I think so.
That's my favorite pay-per-view stage of all time.
So yeah, you said that's the best ever.
That's up there.
I don't know.
It's up there. I mean, they have fire coming out the whole show. Like fire was literally a part of the stage, bro. And
that's true.
You have performers, the goats, two of my goats, use the stage to light a barbed wire 2x4 on fire and use it during the match. Almost hit a couple fans in the front row.
That's true.
I would have sued the fuck out of WWE.
Well, I mean, they be playing with fire a lot over the years. So, I mean, it is one of the things that you got to watch out for, especially at WrestleMania. But no, that 3 Stages of Hell was definitely dope. And no, I would definitely put it up there with some of the best ones. I don't know if the best. I don't know if I say that, but it's in the conversation. I'll give you that.
And the old Backlash that used to have the thing swinging.
Yeah,
that's up there.
I did like those.
We have to figure out the best pay-per-view stages one day, man.
Oh, that's a bracket.
I don't know if I want to do it as a bracket because it's just too much, like, but most definitely figure maybe do a poll on Twitter or something. Hey, if you didn't tune out because we spent 10 minutes talking about Impact Wrestling, I know people don't like that shit. If you didn't tune out, man, let us know what is your favorite pay-per-view stage of all time. Mine is Armageddon 2002. What's yours, Reed?
Yeah. My favorite? Oh, man. You know, I used to like those SummerSlam ones back in like 04 to 06.
Yeah.
Those were big. What's another one? There was one of Survivor Series. I think it was 04. I want to say it was that one. That one was pretty dope. Judgment Day. Either I think it was 04. Was 04. Eddie had the match. Yeah, that one definitely was up there. Most of
yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I really, you know which one I kind of liked, and it was I feel like AEW's like ripped it off. Was Invasion, the Invasion pay-per-view where they had the two different sides.
Yeah, I feel like they did.
No, AEW didn't. I think TNA ripped it off, and then AEW got it from TNA. I think TNA used the two sides, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but I swear TNA. But the way TNA had it, I think it was on opposite sides of the studio. So like some people came out on this side and some people came out on the side. I might be wrong. I haven't watched those episodes in a while, but something like that. Yeah, that's under.
They all wound up ripping off something. So
it's an endless cycle of it. Like there's only so much you can do, so you just got to make it different. If you can.
And just Night of Champions was a good one too. The first Night of Champions.
Oh, the one that was ruined forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember that one because like I actually didn't watch that pay-per-view. Now that I think about it.
No. Yeah, like it was the same one for like a couple years running. It was just like that red carpet.
Big V.
Yeah, and the pillars and the banners with all the championships on them.
One of the Royal Rumbles. I don't remember which one, but I don't remember which year actually. But I think it was the one where they had you remember the ads and they had the McMahons were this royal family.
06.
It was 06.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that one.
I watched that one like 50 times.
And then whichever Royal Rumble where they had the West Side Story commercials.
05.
Yeah, I like that stage too.
That one was pretty funny. That's what Vince Torres fucking quads getting in the ring. Oh, man.
He worked himself into a shoot for real.
All the way.
That's working yourself into a shoot personified.
Like, bruh. Because I never forget as a kid watching that, and I'm saying like, is he sitting in the ring? Like he out here pouting like a kid? he got his hands on his hip sitting in the ring. I'm like, all right, you going a little too far now. So then to go back watching it, like, okay, so watch as he gets in the ring, and he tries to stand up and falls. I'm like, oh shit! So you really just did yourself in like that.
Hey, you ever?
That's funny.
I was listening to an episode of Edge and Christian when they had their podcast a while back, and Edge was telling the story about how everything was backstage when Vince came back. And they said this nigga was irate.
They parted the Red Sea. Yo, everybody got the fuck out of Dodge. Like, yo, Vince is coming back. Yo, they cleared out.
Oh,
they don't want no part of this.
If I was even close to Gorilla, I would have went back to the locker room and stayed there until I had. Is Vince gone? All right, cool. See y'all tomorrow. I would have left. I would have been like, yo, y'all, can I leave? I was not get caught in the wrath of this dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, I'm done. I'm done for the night. I don't got nothing else to do. Cool. Let me get on the road to the next show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, see y'all tomorrow, man. I gotta check into this hotel, man. Hey,
facts.
So let's move on. I feel like we've been talking a lot. So like I said, man, we had trouble coming up with topics on the show. So not much happened this week except WWE released 10 talents from their contract. I'm gonna go through them all. You guys already know the story, but we're gonna start from least relevant to most relevant, I guess. Wesley Blake. If I was Wesley Blake and I was Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler, I would be waiting to beat somebody ass right now. That somebody is Jackson Wright. But yeah. Tucker is gone. They took his name away. They took his job away. Bo Dallas, which I thought was a bit of irony because Bo Dallas's dad got released on the same day last year, Sammy Zack Day. You released IRS on tax day, bro.
But you know what? This is the only one that I feel good for. Like, this was mercy in my eyes because Bo been in like purgatory for I don't know how many years. And I think he just wanted to leave, but for whatever reason, they wouldn't book him, they wouldn't use him, but they wouldn't release him either. So it's like this.
They released his tag partner and his dad last year and just kept him.
Yeah.
Didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
Chelsea Green, Kalisto, Mickie James, Mojo Rawley, and those names is you see those names like they haven't been doing much. This is
Mojo Rawley is like number one in terms of least relevant to high relevant. Truthfully,
over Wesley Blake.
Next to, I put him right after Wesley. Yeah, but Wesley Blake at least got on TV with Baron Corbin.
Mojo Rawley won the Dre though.
And then we didn't see him since then. Like, damn.
And if you kind of wanna be technical, he hosted WrestleMania last year.
Oh man, he was like co-hosting WrestleMania.
He was like
Titus also hosted for the second half.
He was Andy Richter basically last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what it was.
So I think that gives him, and he was a champion last year too. So I think that gives him a little bit more relevance than Wesley Blake and Tucker, at least those two.
Oh,
at least those two.
Oh man.
If you want to say he third least relevant, then yeah, I'll give you that.
I guess so.
but the real kicker though, included in these releases were Samoa Joe, Billy Kay, and Peyton Royce. To round it out. So yeah, man. Shoot on it.
Samoa Joe was complicated though, because the story is that he wasn't medically cleared. We know how WWE doctors be in terms of, they don't want the liability. That's the same hardball they was playing with Daniel Bryan because he was trying to wrestle again
It's the head injury.
They would,
I think they did the
yeah,
same thing with Christian as well. Like Christian didn't get
yeah,
cleared for 7 years. I think really what it is, they trying to avoid another June 2007 incident. So they really just it's really hard to get clear from concussions in WWE ever since that, I think.
yeah. But it's like, and this goes back to what we said on that episode. We was talking about Dark Side of the Ring. It's like, what is the deal with this wellness policy that it's like, are y'all still treating it like a joke? Because if you're treating it properly, then it's like that combined with, the proper medical evaluations, like you should have an idea, if this person can go again, if they won't, whatever. But in Joe's case, it's like they wanted to keep him on commentary. He wasn't trying to do that. Doctors won't clear him. So it's like, okay, well, contract runs up. That's it. We're going to just cut it. If a doctor clears him to wrestle, go for it. But it's like, if not, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like it's just one of the things you just got to ride out with. The one that pissed me off was Billie Kay though, because like that's just foul.
That was the only one I was upset about. Cause like,
yeah.
You know how many times I've gone up for Billie Kay on this show,
bro.
So that's
I was tweeting about it on a regular basis. On a regular basis, I was tweeting like, I don't see Billie Kay on my TV, and that's a problem. So y'all need to fix this. She was just on WrestleMania. I think she's the only person on that list
got a pin at WrestleMania
that had a match at WrestleMania.
Just a pin at WrestleMania,
right? Like just days beforehand, she was on the card and she won a match technically, and days later she gone. Like, come on, man. This is crazy.
And she went out on top though. But I will say this about I got a couple more things to say about this, man. I'm actually gonna run through a couple of these names. Wesley Blake, like I said, you owe. I really feel sorry for Wesley Blake, man, because I feel like he couldn't catch a break. They broke him up from Buddy Murphy and Alexa.
I was about to say he was with Buddy before.
Yeah, at NXT, they're tag champs in NXT. And then Buddy Murphy ended up doing his own thing, and then Wesley Blake got lost in the shadows. They put him with the Forgotten Sons. Nobody really liked them in NXT at Full Sail. They put him on the main roster. Nobody really cared for him on the main roster. Ended up getting taken off of TV after maybe a month because, the leader of the stable wanted to get on Twitter and align himself with some people who nobody should want to align themselves with in 2020, especially proud.
All losses matter.
Yeah, he was very proud to be a proud boy. Tucker, and you go somewhere like Tucker really impressed me in the Elimination Chamber last year, but other than that, I was never really impressed with Tucker. So I think he's somebody he can go and find his way out there, maybe find his way back if he feels inclined to. Mickie James, I thought she would be back. Like she was also on the pre-shows on WrestleMania, so that one kind of threw me for a loop. I would have liked to see her do commentary in NXT or something.
She wasn't. It's not like she was gonna wrestle or nothing like that. Yeah. Like she was that side was. Although this is the reason I'm kind of upset about Chelsea Green. That whole thing they doing on Twitter, like kind of rehashing the Trish Mickie storyline from back in 2006. I wanted to see that play out in some capacity on TV. I was down for it. Like you don't have to do the same thing, but kind of like kind of like a callback to it and make your own version of it. Something like that. I was down for that, but we ain't getting that now. At least not in WWE.
Bo Dallas, I don't have much to say about that. He just hasn't done much in the last couple of years, so he's free to do what he want to do. That's good for him. Kalisto, that one kind of threw me for a loop because they might as well just kept them with Lucha House Party. It's like they broke them up for no reason.
Right. Like I don't get that because it actually, I was actually interested when they flipped him and then they sent them to Raw, kept him on SmackDown, and he's supposed to be a heel. Okay, so we got kind of like a heel Rey Mysterio. something like that. I'm like, I'm with that. That's cool. Well, let me not say that because Rey Mysterio is a heel in my eyes still. But
Oh yeah, Rey Mysterio.
I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, you had something with that. Kalisto was in the best shape of his career, and we know he can put on some fire. So I mean, work with that. You got a mid-card scene that you still got to kind of, get together. Outside of Big E and Apollo, you don't see anybody else in that situation. So it's like, put him in the mix. But
right.
April 14th.
And my take on Chelsea Green was that she was hurt a lot. I think it's not good to see somebody get cut, but I think it's more justifiable, it's understandable in her situation, is that she stayed hurt a lot. They put her on the main roster. She got hurt her first night on SmackDown. It was out for 12 weeks. Just started to come back, but I think it's one of those things any company will probably just cut their losses with. And Peyton Royce, y'all know how I feel about Peyton Royce.
Listen, I don't listen.
That boom boom music.
You
got a lot of time to be hearing that boom boom music now that you don't got to go to work on Monday night.
Oh, hey,
hearing a lot of that boom boom music now in their crappy done up cars. Peppers.
She got tone deaf moments. I'll give her that. But there was like a slight spark of something there when she did that Raw Talk promo, and I thought maybe that could finally tap into whatever it is Vince was seeing so much that he didn't supposedly see in Billie Kay. So I'm like, if you're gonna pull that trigger. At least it'll get me invested. But then the match was and then we didn't see her again. So I don't know, man.
That's what happens, man. Like, you let the internet gas you up, and that's what happens. But it's never good to see anybody lose a job, though. So, but where do you think some of these guys and gals will land?
I'm gonna say most definitely Chelsea and Samoa, and probably Mickie will probably end up in AEW. As for the rest of them, I don't know. I want to see Billie Kay go somewhere where she'll get some exposure, because if this is the end, I'm highly upset, and I'll never forgive the Fed for this. But maybe her and Peyton will team back up again, and they can kind of rebuild off of that. Bo Dallas is done. I don't see him doing nothing with wrestling. From what I heard, he doesn't really care to be in the wrestling business no more. So let him live his life, do his thing. Wesley, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like when you drop out of two different tag teams and then you find yourself in the unemployment line, it's a steep hill to climb. You might want to try like go and work in the scene, going to Japan, something like that. I don't know, man. But yeah, a lot of them, it's gonna be tough. Maybe Impact, but those three I mentioned, those three most definitely. I know Chelsea's gonna be following her hubby over to AEW. And Samoa Joe got a whole bunch of dream matches that he can have in AEW. Yeah, probably.
Chelsea Green's husband is Impact.
That's right. But it would make more sense for her to go to AEW because Impact don't need the women, and the AEW needs to keep shoring up the women's division. So it would make more sense for her to go over there. But yeah, and Mickie can be like, she'll need to wrestle. She'll need to do that, but she could be like a great veteran to have in that locker room for a lot of these women, because a lot of these women are young. So that's a great asset for them to have, especially when it's still early on in their tenure, like year 2, year 3. So that's definitely something you can have in your pocket.
So I think I'm gonna just say where I want some of these people to go to, and if I fail, they'll end up somewhere differently than yet. Samoa Joe, Get my guy over there to New Japan in that open weight division. Start whooping some ass, man. I think that's the best place for him. If he doesn't go to AEW, I wouldn't even mind if he might come back to WWE at some point. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. I don't really see a place for Billy Kay outside of WWE. So her best bet, get an agent in Hollywood and just go from there. If you don't want to stay in the game in the wrestling industry, Peyton Royce, I can definitely see her going to AEW. Her husband's there. Have her shore up that women's division. Mojo Rawley, no idea. Maybe a party promoter. I don't fucking know.
Basically.
Chelsea Green. I honestly can see Chelsea Green back in Impact. Former Knockouts champion, if you did not know. A lot of people did not know that. Zack Ryder's already there. Matt Cardona, excuse me, is already there. Scott D'Amore, probably throw her a check to come and show up around Slammiversary in return. So, especially they lost a couple of women too, like Ty Valkyrie is gone. She debuted NXT this past week. So
that's right.
I think her Nevaeh is gone from Impact as well. So a couple of their women are gone. Jazz is retired, so they can use some new infusion of talent. Old infusion, but new. It's been a while. Kalisto, yeah. I could see him working the circuit, maybe showing up in AEW. Bo Dallas, I same thing as I said before. I don't really know as it pertains to him. Mickie James, you said AEW. I could actually see her in NWA. And I don't want to have to say all the women that got released have just going to work with their husbands, but I just feel it's a natural place for all of them to wind up at. Because NWA seems just like a natural place for Mickie James to wind up at if they want to pay her. If they don't want to pay her, then she might be in AEW. I can see her being like a coach or a player coach in AEW as well.
Is Thunder Rosa still with NWA technically?
Technically, yeah. Apparently, until the end of the year, her contract expires on the 31st of December.
Because that is one match I will watch.
Mickie James and Thunder Rosa. Yeah.
Just give me a one-off, and that's all she need to do. But I want to see that. So for that, and the pair, if you pair up with Nick Aldis too, like that works. So I can see that definitely in NWA.
Yeah, have her kind of in that role because I haven't watched NWA Power, so I honestly don't know. But before the pandemic started, have her kind of doing similar to what Melina was doing in NWA. I don't know if Melina's still there or not, but you can have her do something like that. In Thunder Rosa, I see people post and retweet Thunder Rosa's husband a lot. Seems very disgruntled, like as far as her NWA situation goes. So that doesn't look like a favorable situation, but hopefully it can salvage it, whatever.
She
Tucker,
got options.
Yeah, Tucker. I would like to see Tucker work the independent circuit and just kind of build his name up, do something different. Maybe come back to WWE because I think he kind of got that look. He kind of got a package of stuff, but he just got to round it together. And I think they were dealt a really bad hand with Heavy Machinery, especially with Otis being the personality and Tucker just kind of being an expendable one.
It's Big Cass and Enzo all over again.
Yeah.
Because I need a reason to care about Tucker, just like I need a reason to care about Cass, other than the fact that he's, 7 foot tall. And 7 foot tall.
Teach that.
Like that's cool and that's great.
I miss
but
that.
He said one line in his promos and he spelled out a word, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a reason to care. And it's the same thing with Tucker. Like, after you split, obviously Otis with the personality, and then the whole link with him and Mandy and Dolph, it's like, okay, that was like a shades of he could have a singles run, but we didn't say you needed to split him up right then and there. That's what they did. And so now Tucker it was always going to end this way, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
you got to give him something to make us give a shit. Otherwise, there's nowhere you can put him that'll fix this until he gets that.
And while we still on the subject of Tucker, I really don't like how wrestling fans y'all was going up for Tucker, like y'all cared about him that much. Like y'all was really going up for Tucker getting released, and that just screamed performative outrage to me, and I just did not care. Wesley Blake. If I was Wesley Blake, here's what I would do. I would reach out to, find Ra's al Ghul and join the League of Shadows, get your skills up, you know what I mean, to get revenge on the person that cost you your dream job. Go and get just world-class martial arts training and just come back and whoop old boy's ass.
Oh man.
Kind of cost me my job, bro. Like Jackson Riker really cost them boys the biggest opportunity. Like they was about to beat the New Day for the tag titles.
It was.
Like that was the biggest opportunity they
had
in their career, and it just went up in smoke because of one person just wanted to talk too much on social media.
I can confirm they were poised to have a decent program with the New Day and a title change. It was supposed to happen. So way to go, Jackson. Way to go.
And meanwhile, Jackson Riker get on TV every week. What kind of shit is that?
And I don't understand why. I really don't like
that. That's really why he need to join up with Ra's al Ghul.
I say it all the time, like I don't see the appeal in Elias, but somehow it just gets worse when you add Jackson Riker into it because what is he there for?
Yeah, like, I've always loved Elias's gimmick to the point where I haven't realized Elias has been doing that gimmick for about 5 years now. It hasn't even seemed that long.
Yeah.
I enjoy the gimmick so much. Ever since they put him with Jackson Riker, I don't care that when Elias is on my TV anymore, which I think is very unfortunate.
I didn't mind it at first, like it was something different and it was cool, but then it just got stale so fast. And then somewhere after Mania 35, after that whole thing with John Cena cutting the old school promo on him, and then Undertaker just beating his ass into the ground, like after a while, it just got it's not doing nothing for me no more. I think the peak of Elias of that gimmick for Seattle. Him, exactly. Him and Kevin Owens got that. I have not heard boos that loud in a long, long time. Like, I mean, years long. But that was the peak. After that, it just like stopped.
So I went and watched that promo back a couple months ago, and I never realized. So, Elias he do his little shtick in the dark to cut all the lights out.
Yeah.
The boos got so bad they had to turn the lights on in the middle because they didn't know what the fuck was about to happen, and you don't want to chance. It's a sore subject for a lot of people in Seattle when you bring up the.
I'm about to say you bring up the Sonics, you got issues, bro.
Like those fighting words. No respect for Detlef Schrempf.
I didn't even think it was gonna get him that high when he said it, but I'm like, oh
no, bro. Like when he said it, I was thinking like, oh, this is your typical cheap heat. It's gonna go away after a while. But no, this shit went on for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it just blew up. It's like when you draw heat like that, you should be doing better. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes some work. Like it made me think back to Edge, back in 2005 when the news got leaked, and before we even introduced it into the storyline, it was like, oh no, these niggas really hate this dude. Like that takes some work.
But I want to say one more thing about these releases, and we can move on. I said I would like to see Samoa Joe in New Japan. Realistically, do you think he'll end up in AEW?
Probably. Yeah. This is a good chance. A lot of the talent from around, not just indie circuit, but over Japan, from Impact, they're all in AEW for the most part. And I think there's more for him to work with. Yeah, there's more for him to work with that's marketable and that people would want to see if he's still going to wrestle again.
Hey.
So that's the big one right there.
Samoa Joe and Christian.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Christian.
I don't want to see him with Team Taz though. That's a little cliche.
No. I see somebody say that. I'm just like, I had to pause and think about it for a second, and I just came to the conclusion. No. I think we'll pass on it.
Too cliche, and I didn't watch TNA. They didn't get along in TNA, so continuity. You gotta have some continuity here. Why would they be cool with each other in AEW if in TNA they didn't fuck with each other?
And I ain't gonna hold you. Taz is wearing thin for me right now. Like his whole thing. Like
I'm over
initially
Team Taz.
It was good. Yeah, initially it was cool, and the more now that I'm actually getting to watch AEW, it's like, bruh, I'm sorry. Like you just sound washed up now.
It also didn't help that for how long was it? 3 months. It was about 3 months of the same shit with Sting every single week.
Yeah.
That didn't help matters. Brian Cage is teasing leaving. Ricky Starks is more compelling to me out of everybody else in that group.
Yeah. Like just
Hobbs is
let
cool.
Somebody else talk. Yeah. Let
Ricky Starks talk more. Like,
yeah.
I said Ricky Starks should have been out of the group, but maybe
smart.
You have Team Taz and have Samoa Joe take over. I would be cool with that.
Yeah, that works. Like you don't have to be the one like spearheading it all the time. Like you got these guys in the group for a reason. Use them instead of leaning on him so much. Like this is not 2005 Taz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm over that. But yeah, so hopefully nobody else gets released though.
Hopefully.
If they do, it's for reasons like Eva Lee's getting released from AEW. Attitude reasons, for justifiable reasons to let somebody go. Not, budget cuts. Need to
so
talking about cuts, cut us a check for that Ethel Johnson, so we ain't forget.
Yeah, we got real life beef.
We not forget.
We got real life beef.
Yeah. Cut the check, Vincent.
Yeah. We on you about that. I ain't playing. I said I was gonna do a little quick like on some news and rumors, but this is one of them. So Chelsea did this interview with Fightful earlier in the week, and apparently this is why like a lot of these cuts never make sense. They had plans at some point last year to team her up with Vanessa Bourne and Santana Garrett. And that's why we saw like Santana Garrett had that one picture where she was like backstage at SmackDown. Mm-hmm. They were all supposed to have a faction together that was kind of gonna blend in Pussycat Dolls and Charlie's Angels together. I don't know how that was gonna work, but that was the idea they had. Because Vanessa Bourne got called up early last year. They didn't use her. Santana Garrett got called up in the summer, but she only had a spot at the Rumble. And then Chelsea Green got hurt in November. So all the shit started falling apart.
I don't think I would want to see that, to be honest with you.
None of it. I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, I gotta understand how you're gonna put that all together, especially on your PGTV. Like I don't know, man. That's
you remember Vince's Devils?
Oh my god!
Or like just the way that's kind of written out makes me think of Vince's Devils, but more talented.
Which realistically,
yeah. Because only out of the three of them, only one of them was like a real wrestler, which was Victoria. So, and I don't know why they put her in it because like that was definitely a back step from where she was just a couple years before that,
bro. y'all know how I feel about Victoria.
Me too. I say all the time, man. Like this, next year. Listen. This time next year, Victoria's not in the Hall of Fame, and we could bookmark it whatever date it is, the earliest date that we record. I'm going on a rant, just on that topic.
Same, but and I gotta shoot on this, man. So, I mentioned before how, 05 I was kind of out of the loop a little bit. So when I started picking up again around mid third quarter 05, and I see Victoria doing this Vince's Devil shit, I was just really upset a little bit. I was kind of ashamed. So yeah, I don't want to. Let's not harp on those times, man. So yeah, those are the releases. Probably the only notable thing that happened this week in WWE. But on Monday, which is one of the worst, I see people say it was the worst Raw after Mania ever. That's not true because last year exists. But this is probably second though. Nothing interesting happened. You usually have returns and debuts. We got the return of Ivar, which I don't think anybody was really popping for like that. I popped a little bit. I was like, hey, Raiders, but that was really it.
I was happy that you have another
tag team back on TV, since you have a tag team division that you don't take seriously. That meant something.
Yeah.
So, but at the expense of Cedric and Shelton, who I assume at this point are going back to catering, but that's a whole nother topic that I don't have the energy for right now. Like, I really don't, because
they were in the hurt business and now they in the catering business.
Yeah.
But what we did, probably the best thing that happened on this whole show, Charlotte Flair had a promo and she just ran down a whole bunch of women in the women's division. She did not mention Becky Lynch though, because she was scared. She's scared of Becky, but
we know that.
She ran down all the women. She was basically, asserting herself. I think it's I wasn't really that impressed with it because I feel like Charlotte Flair has done this promo multiple times before. And I also don't know what the end game is for her delivering this type of promo.
She's done it in some form or fashion, but this was the first time it was, I guess, deliberate or straight, without any restrictions. Mm-hmm. Like she said what was in her mind instead of what she could say on TV, so to speak. Like this was the first time it was just unfiltered. I'm gonna just say it off the hip.
Yeah.
But what I will say, and this was one of the things I had for the day. I saw a post on Instagram. This is like a snippet of the promo. And I just happened to see this by chance because I believe Alexa Bliss was one of the names she mentioned. And then I saw at the bottom of the post, Alexa posted, "Why you so loud?" And then it just got me thinking, we don't have enough women's programs on the show. You got one bad one with the Raw Women's title, but it's like, at least if you're going to run with that, run with it. But if you're going to have Charlotte back, a way to counteract the whole, let's not put Charlotte right back into the title scene, because it's constant. The way to kind of keep her from going stale in the women's division, give her a new program. Alexa is on her own now. The aftermath of that terrible situation with the Fiend that I don't even listen.
That's not over.
Nothing can. It needs to be. It needs to be because I'm still pissed. I don't care about it no more. Nothing fixes that for me.
At the risk of not sounding like a broken record, I'm not gonna say what I've been saying for the last 7 days.
I will not be convinced about this. I'm inconsolable. It just ain't gonna happen. But if there's one silver lining that I can see, it's that if Alexa is going solo now,
if she's doing her own thing, she's got her own dark side or whatever, she's got her own character, her own lady fiend, then let her start going after names on the women's roster. And what better way to start than with Charlotte? Who up?
You know how the Fiend was righting wrongs initially.
Oh yeah.
I likes to do something like
that.
I don't know the story. I don't know the history with Charlotte that well, but I do know there's there's a very big name out there who can come back. Who Alexa owes one to.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, the thing is, there's not much history there. Like they had a match in NXT. I think it was like a tournament for the NXT Women's Championship, and then they had the Survivor Series match a couple years ago, champion versus champion. Outside of that, you don't really see them. You haven't really had any, matches or anything like that between them. So that can be fresh. But, Charlotte, and that's why I think it's perfect for this time. Charlotte came out and cut this promo and everything like that. And they'll most likely put her in a title match at Backlash. But if you interject Alexa into that and just take Charlotte away and have her program with Alexa, it's like that can run for a good couple months, even into the summer. So, I mean, like, again, if she's doing her own thing as, her dark Alexa side, that's a program you can run with. Then you can have your women's championship program on the side too. It's like, keep building the rosters up so that we don't have this stale run like you had with Asuka after the summer, just dropping her off and not really featuring the women's title. Like, get the women. You got enough women on Raw's roster. I say this ad nauseum. It's like 5-1 women from Raw to SmackDown. You can make another program. So this would definitely be one of them, especially since he name dropped her already. So it's like that when she wrote on that post, I'm thinking like, okay, y'all could do something with this. And I don't like saying that on here because they like to listen and like steal shit. And that gets me all the time. I don't like giving this out. But if you got the all the pieces in place right there, you may as well run with it. And all I will say is, if y'all hear that and you get to thinking and you get to writing, if I don't get a mention from this show, y'all, this is not the time to try me, okay? It's not. I got resources to get litigation going. All right, I'm at that point. All right, so if Bruce get in his mind and start wilding again, all I want to see is hashtag YK Wrestling, at YK Wrestling, something. That's all I need. I'm not gonna be giving this out and then y'all keep taking shit and running with it without the proper respect and accreditation to where it came from. All right,
that's all we want.
We're not. That's right. We're not gonna keep doing this petty theft. That shit gonna stop. But that's an idea. I would book that.
And I just want to re-clarify, Alexa Bliss has never defeated Charlotte Flair one-on-one. They've fought one-on-one 3 times. The women's championship tournament, NXT. They fought on an episode of NXT a few months after that, and Survivor Series 2017. The only times Alexa Bliss has won a match that Charlotte Flair has been involved in, we have Money in the Bank 2018. There was a triple threat for the SmackDown Women's Championship in 2019. I don't know why I don't remember. Oh, it was number 1 contendership. That's what it was. I was like, I don't remember her holding the championship back then. But yeah. So we have a number 1 contenders match that featured Carmella. So I'm pretty sure Carmella took the pin in that one. And Clash of Champions 2019 for the women's tag championships. No, that's a lie. Never mind. That happened in Charlotte, not versus Charlotte.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. So Alexa Bliss has never defeated Charlotte Flair one-on-one.
Yeah. That's a good way to start it. You just have her go after the biggest whale. And then you can just run down she's gonna do like what Bray did, going after people that got one over. You can run down a list of them and bring up some new feuds. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You have that in your pocket now. If you were going to do this at the expense of the Fiend, which again I'm not cool with, but if you're gonna do it, make something out of it now. That's a good road to take.
And that story ain't over either, by the way. It's not.
It just need to be. It just need to be.
It's not.
They've exhausted all the goodwill with me. Just end the story, please.
I'm telling y'all, it's not, man. And if I'm wrong about it, I will gladly admit I was wrong. But as of right now, I can't be wrong because it just started.
It's terrible, man. I can't, man. I've ranted at as much as I possibly can about that particular topic. That it's apathy at this point. I can't even muster up that energy no more for it because they don't listen. They don't listen. The one time they don't listen and not tapped in is on the topic that I'm then that passionate about. But that's okay. That's okay.
And since they tapped in, since they listening, man, is there a date for WrestleMania in 2024 yet? There is not. There is not. I know a place. I know a place where you should come to have WrestleMania in 2024. That's WrestleMania 40. You're at WrestleMania 40. So why not have WrestleMania 40 in Las Vegas? It writes itself. Cut the check, Vince. Hey, man, before we get out of here, I'm gonna circle back. We're gonna talk about some more Impact Wrestling. Second time today. Hell yeah. They got a pay-per-view coming up, Rebellion. I'm just gonna get these predictions out the way. I doubt Reek cares to give his predictions or not. I'm gonna give mine. For the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships, Fire and Flavor, that's Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, and putting their titles on the line versus Jordan Grace and an opponent to be determined. And so I'm pretty sure that that mystery opponent is gonna walk away with some gold. That's my prediction. Next up, we got an 8-man tag match: Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, James Storm, and Willie Mack. Willie Mack is the lone anomaly on this team. He is the only one on this team that's never been world champion in Impact Wrestling. So that should change because I'm a big fan of Willie Mack. They're taking on Violent by Design, Eric Young, Cody Deaner, Joe Doring, and Rhino.
What?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Violent by Design. I kind of tune out every time they come on TV. So I'm gonna choose them to get the win though, because Impact they like to do things that I don't agree with. They're the ones who are tapped in and they do the exact opposite. So we got a last man standing match: Trey Mcgill versus Sammy Callahan, and this one's just been shaping up to be Trey Mcgill getting the win. So that should be the route they go. Next up in a match, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you about. I don't care. Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers. I don't care.
The Major Brothers explode.
Yeah, I don't care. Brian Myers might get the win, so we'll see. For the X Division Championship, Ace Austin puts the title on the line versus Josh Alexander and TJP. If Impact Wrestling, if Scott D'Amore, if Don Callis, if they know what's right for them, Josh Alexander will walk out with the X Division Championship. He should. That's my pick. For the Knockouts Championship, Deonna Purrazzo versus Tenille Dashwood. That's match of the night. I'm telling you right now, it's match of the night. This is the one I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know who should win.
Probably.
Who should win, Reed? You choose for me. You predict for me.
Tenille is Emma, right?
It's Emma.
Oh shit. You know what? How long's Deonna been champ? Because I know she's had it for a minute.
since Bound for Glory, I want to say. Around there, around October, November.
You know what? I would say drop it to Tenille. I think they could have that because she's still young too.
Mm-hmm.
So like they could have a decent program back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I think Deonna really kind of made the statement in a big way when she beat Jordan Grace back to back. So I mean, this could kind of be her foil in a sense. You know, now that she kind of had a decent run with it. You know, Emma.
I love Tenille's gimmick too. Like this past week on Impact, she had a segment where she has her own talk show, but the talk show is called All About Me, and the guests interview her. And I thought that was really creative, and so I'm on the Tenille Dashwood train because it looks like they're finally utilizing her a little bit more than they were last year.
Also, I don't think she's ever won a championship before, has she? Not a singles championship.
Let's go look. I'm not sure actually. I know she didn't win anything in WWE. She won. Yeah. She won a championship for a federation I never heard of, the Elite Canadian Championship Wrestling in Vancouver.
Okay.
She won their Super Girls Championship twice, and she also won a championship in a Swiss league over in Switzerland as well. But no, she's never won anything since then.
It's time for her to get a win.
Yeah, I'm on the Tenille train.
Yeah, I think it's about that time. Like she should have a run.
Yeah,
she been slept on.
I agree. And I've enjoyed Deonna Purrazzo's reign, but like you said, it's but like man, knowing Impact, they probably won't do it. Deonna Purrazzo's probably gonna win, so I think I'm gonna go with the safe pick, and Deonna Purrazzo's gonna win for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Finn Juice, David Finlay, Juice Robinson. They put the titles on the line against AEW's Good Brothers. They might as well be AEW's Good Brothers. I think I see them more on Dynamite than I see them on Impact. But yeah, the Good Brothers going back after their championships, and I can probably see them getting the titles back because Kenny Omega's going to win in the main event. I'm not even going to put too much on that. Kenny Omega's going to beat Rich Swann in the main event.
Yeah.
Well. So you got to have – what sense would it make for Kenny Omega to have two championships, the Young Bucks to have the AEW tag titles, and you got the Good Brothers with no gold? Come on now. Makes sense. They're going to have all the gold. So it's kind of – that's my picks. We can end this show.
Because so I saw this as you was talking about Vegas and WrestleMania, but I'm already going to invalidate it because I see a particular name attached to it that we don't give credence to on this podcast. All I will say is that there was talk about them looking at WrestleMania in Vegas as far back as January. Now, it wasn't given a specific number between 37, 38, 39, but 40 is wide open. So that's a high possibility.
And he already got dates for 38 and 39.
Yeah. So it's not. Listen, it's not that hard.
I know Vince McMahon is never having WrestleMania outside ever again. So it might be a while before we see another Mania in Florida. Thank God, because they don't play too damn much. Don't bring your asses back to New Orleans again. Please don't. Don't do that.
It was hit or miss. Like I think both the ones in New Orleans had some great stuff and some stuff that just made you say,
just go to New Orleans too damn much. Let's not.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't go back to Miami.
No. Not unless The Rock is going to be there, which he won't. 29 kind of killed any hopes of that. So as much as people hoping for Hollywood, I don't think that's gonna happen either, because Hollywood just says, nah, you're not getting him again. Because my man tore his whole abdomen at 29 and cost him a couple engagements.
You think now
you're not cool with that?
With this Peacock deal, now that NBC and WWE are kind of working a little bit more, do you think the Universal Studios would be more willing to let The Rock show up and wrestle again now that they're kind of in a more of a working relationship?
They might let him show up, but I don't know about wrestling. Like you might see him do some promos, some content or whatever, but wrestling, I don't know. We know he in shape to do it, but again, it's like there's always that risk of, okay, if something happened here, we got this booked to do this show or this movie, and if he miss it, that's a whole lot of money, and it's like they don't want to take them risks. You know what I'm saying? So maybe.
I'm in Black Adam.
Listen, right. I think he just finished up filming, or he started filming.
They just started filming Black Adam like last week or the week before that. Yeah,
but it's like, listen, Vegas got a brand new stadium. It's beautiful.
It's nice.
It's on the West Coast.
I'm about to go on a tour. I might schedule a tour soon.
Yeah, it's on the West Coast. I don't think they've been on the West Coast since 31. Like, you might as well go for it. Take advantage.
It's a roof, so it's not going to be hot as fuck. We don't got to worry about no rain delays. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
I mean, you might run into a little trouble. That weekend with a lot of the extracurricular activities that there are to do out here. That might be a problem, but that's a problem for everybody. They have those maybe extracurricular activities everywhere. It's just not legal.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, as long as Matt Riddle's not on the card, I think they'll be okay.
That would have been perfect place to induct RVD in the Hall of Fame that year too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, real quick, because I forgot to bring this up. Fans got to stop being so damn stingy and ungrateful. I say that because one of the things that did change in their restart week in the shows was the commentary team. Mm-hmm. And as soon, not even 1 hour into Monday Night Raw, people already bitching about this dude, Adnan Vink. Listen, it's dude's first day on the job. He came over from ESPN. He's got a whole different, I'm sure he's got a whole different style, which most of the new guys do. Like that's what makes commentary great when it gets infused in. You have new, something new to add to the rotation. You know what I'm saying? Corey's back over there, so it's not like you got to lean all on this new guy. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Because and then we get to SmackDown and Pat McAfee.
I love Pat McAfee.
Exactly. It's like everybody gonna be different, bro. You gotta let some shit roll.
They just don't like nobody they unfamiliar with. That's all.
And it's like I get that, but it's like it's his first day, bro. Come on.
If it was a fresh face they were familiar with, like when Samoa Joe first got over doing commentary, they loved it.
Yeah, because it's like if you've heard someone cut a promo before, then you know they can do commentary because they go hand in hand. But it's like, yeah, like I feel like everybody was more accepting of that other dude that took Charlie's job over on Raw Talk. Everybody was more accepting of that than they were of this dude. And it's like
the Irish dude.
Yeah, I don't even remember his name right now. It's like I think it's like Kevin something.
He hosts Raw Talk now.
Yeah, he does Raw Talk and like. I think so.
I haven't watched Raw Talk in so long. I don't care
either.
Like, I don't care about what happens on Raw that much, so like I'm not going to care to watch Raw Talk. I'm tapped into Talking Smack every week though.
Oh my god, bro, that's the Paul Heyman show every week. That's that good shit, man.
Shout out to the Irish dude that nobody knows on Raw. We
that's the thing
gonna
too.
learn your name, bro. You're an all-star. We gonna learn you.
Right, like he's good too. That's the bad thing. It's like the show was just trash, but he's actually good. So like I feel for him, but he's still good. People was more accepting of him than they were this other dude. And it's like, come on, man. Y'all gotta cut it out. Y'all gotta grow up. It's TV. It's weekly TV.
Right.
Like every week is gonna have a chance to be different. It probably won't be, but every week got a new chance.
We'll see how I do tomorrow. Like you can't judge nobody off the first hour or so. I thought he did a good job. I didn't mind it. I thought he did a really good job. But
that's what I'm saying.
You know how fans are.
My complaints about Raw are usually never about commentary. It's pretty much everything else.
You know how I'll be feeling when I just be on Twitter and just, seeing people just complaining about shit. I feel like The Rock back in 2001.
Shut up, bitch! Oh
my God!
That's how I'll be feeling. On that note, I think we can end it right there. It's probably one of our least compelling episodes in a while, but it is what it is. Reek, man, you want to plug your socials?
Chalk it up to lack of content this week.
Yeah.
Anywho, y'all can find me at ReekHavoc24 on Twitter and on Instagram. Also, go check out the Havoc Hour on Spotify, Anchor, also YouTube for the video, wherever you listen to your podcast, talking sports and entertainment. My guys on the show right here. I got multiple cameos across our different platforms here. But go check that out. I'm gonna try to shoot an episode tomorrow because Tuesday PFL's having a media day that I gotta tap into. So I'm gonna try to get some content going tomorrow. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna try to get some content tomorrow before that. But yeah, y'all go check that out. Check out the Instagram page as well too, _the Havoc Hour _.
And you know me, I'm TC Fontaine. You can follow me on Instagram if you feel inclined to at tc.fontaine. I might post this week. I don't know yet. I might post some of my photography. I'm feeling real good about my photography, man. I uploaded some of my pictures, from Versus last weekend, and it was looking real good. I enjoyed them, so I might brag about it a little bit. I don't know. Follow us at YK Wrestling everywhere except Instagram. Cause why? They some hoes, man.
Hashtag free YK Wrestling.
Hashtag free YK Wrestling. Instagram, you can hit us up at YK Wrestling _. I might bite the bullet and just start posting on there again. I haven't mentally felt up to it since they took us away. I haven't felt like posting. I ain't post nothing about Mania. Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even care to use Instagram no more. So until they give us our page back, if they ever give us our page back, I'm gonna email Mark Zuckerberg directly. I'm almost there at that point. I'll be like, hey fam, give me my fucking page back.
Yeah, no,
robot.
Like,
You're a robot.
Like, why y'all petty?
I think so too. He's something. He's something. He's
not human. I know that.
Listen,
no human being creates a conglomerate social media site with the initial intention to talk to girls. Nobody who's the same human being does it.
Listen, bro, look at the size of his head and then look at his eyes
and then tell me he's human.
There's no soul.
Like, stop it.
There's no soul.
Yeah.
But you can give us our page back though. Greatly.
Right. Like you got decision making capabilities, so you can do that.
Yeah. Something. Also, I want to. It's totally unrelated to me plugging my socials, but just follow us at Young Kings Wrestling everywhere. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Since I brought up Mark Zuckerberg, and I'm probably gonna close out the show with this. This is a fun fact. Do you know why YouTube was initially created?
No idea.
YouTube used to be a dating site. But yeah, I don't know how either. It was a dating. You upload videos of yourself and then people go to your profile and shit. That's how it initially was. But the initial idea of YouTube came because the founders, they couldn't find a Janet Jackson nipple slip anywhere on the internet. So they figured, like, what if there was a way to have, we could watch this nipple slip all the time. And thus, the biggest video website in the world was born. I don't know how either, but I learned that shit a few weeks ago. It was very awkward.
Oh no.
YouTube was born like the year after that happened.
Oh, what?
Happened during the Patriots Super Bowl that we won too, by the way.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was a crazy.
You learn something new every day on the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. That has nothing to do with wrestling, but you learn it.
You absolutely do.
So,
never forget. Because I remember that.
So I think my guy Reek is taking it back, and
yeah, a little bit.
We can go ahead and close the show out, man. I'm TC Fontaine, Reek Havoc, Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. We are out of here. RIP Black Rob and DMX.